The incoming Trump administration is going to have its work cut out for it in the coming weeks, dealing with the carnage of the past 4 years. And one of the first orders of business? Well, booting out the millions of illegal immigrants who were allowed into the country under Joe Biden's disastrous open border policies. Now, over the past few days, we've started to hear details what is being called a big you-know-what operation, likely to start on day one of Trump's presidency, led by none other than new border czar Tom Homan. And who knows, it might even start during the inauguration, kind of like the Michael Corleone settling all the family business scene in The Godfather Baptism. Remember that one? But one thing is clear. These new people in the Trump administration, well, they are damn serious about what they're going to do here. Have a listen to new Department of Homeland Security nominee Kristi Noem explain this a bit more.
My goal and my mission is to build trust. We will undertake a large job and a large duty that we have to fulfill, that the American people expect us to do by securing our border, to make sure that our nation is a nation with borders, or we're no nation at all.
A nation of borders, or we're no nation at all. Hallelujah. Put that up in lights, because that, friends, explains it all. Why the entire radical left has their program to undermine America, and as well, nations like Australia and Britain and Germany and France and so on have discovered. And this, of course, has so much of the mainstream media in an absolute lather because, well, their sympathies are, particularly when it comes to the border, with the radical left. Here's Secretary of State designate Marco Rubio absolutely schooling Meet the Press's Kristen Walker.
Donald Trump has said he's willing to build migrant detention camps and deploy the U.S. military to deport the more than 11 million undocumented immigrants in this country. It would be the largest deportation operation in American history. Do you support that plan?
11 million. That's an outdated. That was the number 10 years ago. We're talking upwards of 20, 25, maybe 30 million. Well, there's been almost 10 million people that have entered this country unlawfully in the last 3 years.
To the question, would you support it?
The number varies big time. I mean, it's another 9 to 10 million people just in the last 3 years. The answer to your question is yes. Back in 2013, when I was involved in immigration reform, we had 11, 12 million people that had been here for longer than a decade. Now we've had almost that number in the last 3 years alone from all over the world, including people that I believe are terrorists, people that I believe are going to conduct terrorist attacks in this country if given the opportunity, certainly people that were criminals in their home country. This is a completely different, this is not immigration. You asked me about immigration. This is mass migration. Mass migration. This is an invasion of the country, and it needs to be dealt with dramatically.
And that, my friends, is how it's done. Do not shy away from words like deportation and invasion. Lay it out there, and the people will be with you. But let's be clear. Joe Biden, though, he is still, for a few more hours, the president. And he and his team are clearly determined to inflict as much damage as they can before they leave town. I mean, you're not going to believe this one. On Friday, the administration unilaterally declared that something called the Equal Rights Amendment, a feminist cause for 100 years that was most recently resurrected in the 1970s, was now law.
Today, I affirm the Equal Rights Amendment to have cleared all the necessary hurdles to be added to the U.S. Constitution now. The Equal Rights Amendment is the law of the land now. It's the 28th Amendment to the Constitution now.
Yep, he just apparently declared it law of the land now and said it was part of the Constitution because apparently that's how things work in our democracy. And gosh, what a precedent he's setting for Donald Trump here. But anyway, Joe Biden's reasoning around the Equal Rights Amendment is that enough states had ratified it once upon a time. And despite this ratification not happening within the necessary time limits, well, he's the president, and he'll damn well tweet out and say whatever the hell he wants. This is, of course, total Banana Republic Alice in Wonderland stuff, where the Constitution says whatever the president says it says. Nothing more, nothing less. And in a way, it's also kind of hilarious. I mean, everyone knows Joe Biden has completely lost it. Even the New York Times, which enthusiastically participated in the gaslighting of the world over Joe Biden's mental condition, is now admitting it and writing about it and reporting on it. And so everyone's pretty much decided to ignore it. Now, Kamala Harris tried to back Biden up with his Equal Rights Amendment declaration on X, but was quickly community noted to oblivion, with users pointing out that no, the president cannot just declare the Constitution amended, and noting that the National Archivist, who is in charge of what is officially in and not in the Constitution, has confirmed that the Equal Rights Amendment was not ratified, and that, thus, there is no so-called 28th Amendment. I wonder if these community notes, by the way, are the reasons why the left absolutely hates X and Elon Musk so much, because they can't control the narrative. Well, anyway, speaking of Kamala Harris, let's finally check in on the biggest bullet dodged this side of Butler, Pennsylvania. Seen here addressing her staff in a farewell address with her husband, Slappy Doug Emhoff, and mangling Dylan Thomas's famous poem, "Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night."
And our work is not done. And as you all know me, because we have spent long hours, long days, and months and years together, it is not my nature to go quietly into the night. So don't worry about that.
Oh, dear. And she also, of course, thanked her team while ultimately really making it all about her.
I am fully aware that I am the public face of a lot of our work. And so I have the benefit of running into people all over our country who thank me. And I will tell you, I am fully aware that when they are thanking me, they are thanking our team for the extraordinary commitment that you each have and as a team have.
Thanks for nothing. Goodbye, Kamala. Goodbye, Joe. Good riddance.